to see you all. Last class I was discussing about tissues and I told you what is tissue. Many similar cells join to form tissues and I told you what are the types of tissues we have. Meristematic tissue I told you that there are three types: intercalary meristem, apical meristem, then lateral meristem. Then coming to permanent tissues, there are two types: simple permanent and complex. I told you simple permanent there are three: parenchyma, polygyma, and sclerenchyma. I told you parenchyma cells. Coming to parenchyma, there are chloroplast, which is chlorogyma, which is air cavity, which is aerenchyma. Then collenchyma cells are present in the branches, which gives flexibility to the stem, which is not the stem. Because of that, the stems are not breaking even the heavy wind blows. Then sclerenchyma cells, which makes the plant hard. I told you these things and I have given the notes. And complex tissues. Coming to complex tissues, I told you there are two types: xylem and phloem. Xylem tissues contains three elements like xylem parenchyma, xylem vessels, then tracheids, which is used for carrying water from root to all part of the plant. Coming back to phloem, phloem cells, there are three types like phloem parenchyma, companion cells, and sieve plates. And these are phloem is used for carrying food from the leaf to all part of the plant, and the xylem is used to carry water from the root to all leaf. So water in xylem vessels, the movement of the xylem vessel is unidirectional, which means it always moves in one direction. In phloem, it is bidirectional, which can move up and down because they are transferring food to all part of the plant. Then coming back to new topic. By this, the xylem, this plant tissues is over. Then coming back to new topic, there is animal tissue. Very beginning, I told you there are two types of tissues like plant tissues and animal tissue. And still previous class I was discussing about plant tissues. I was saying the divisions, etc. and what is the function. And now we are moving on to animal tissues. So animal tissues, the definition for tissue is similar for both plants and animals. Tissue means similar cells, many number of similar cells joined to form tissue. Many number of similar cells joined to form tissue. And I told you on that day, if this is the one cell, and like this one cell, many cells will be joined. Many cells joined, this is cell, a single cell, and many cells joined to form tissue. In plant and animals also, both the tissues definition is similar, and here by that I completed the plant tissue, and now I am moving on to animal tissue. So coming to animal tissue there are three main classes, which is epithelial, then connective, then nervous. These all are tissues. So coming back to animal tissue, there are three types: epithelial animal tissue, connective tissue, then nervous tissues. In epithelial tissues there are many subdivisions. In connective also we have many subdivisions. And here nervous tissue, which is used for conducting the signals, which is used through neurons. I will tell you while I am teaching this in detail. So first moving on to epithelial tissue. So epithelial tissues are closely packed. Epithelial tissues are closely packed. Closely packed means if you are viewing this tissue, in between the tissues there are no space. Each tissues are very closely packed. In between the tissues there are no space. If you are taking some tissues will be arranged like this. So in these tissues, in between there are intercellular space. Here no such space is there. So the word closely packed resembles that epithelial cells are made up of closely packed cells with no intercellular space. No intercellular space. This is the first point in epithelial tissues. Then epithelial tissues are present in single layer. Epithelial tissues are present in single layer. In some cases, mostly it is in single layer, but in some cases it will be in multiple layer throughout the body and form as simple epithelium. So epithelial tissues, see, the first point is epithelial tissue. It is closely packed with no intercellular space. Then In epithelial, second point is it may be in single layer. Mostly it will be in single layer. In some cases it will be in multiple layer. Some cases it will be in multiple layer. Then epithelial tissues. The main function is epithelial tissues cover the internal parts. Cover the internal parts. Internal parts of the body. Cover the internal parts. So, according to the presence of this epithelial tissue, according to the presence of these epithelial tissues, according to the location where a particular epithelial tissues is present, these epithelial tissues are subdivided into 4 classes, 4 divisions. So, see, I told you epithelial tissues which is used to cover the internal parts or maybe under the skin, which cover the skin, then present in the lungs, then in the intestine, and all over the body. This the outer covering of the cell is which is called as epithelial cells, and that epithelial cells will be joined to form an epithelial tissue. So, based on the location of epithelial tissues, the epithelial tissues are divided into 4 types. Based on the location of epithelial tissue, the epithelial tissues are divided into 4 types. First one is squamous epithelium. Squamous epithelium. Then second one is columnar epithelium. Then third one is cuboidal epithelium. Cuboidal epithelium. Then the last one is ciliated epithelium. So, according these divisions are based on the presence of the epithelial tissues. It means that according to the epithelial tissue where it is present, these 4 divisions are subdivided. First one is squamous epithelium, the second one is columnar, then cuboidal, then ciliated. So, if you are coming back to squamous epitheliums are present under the skin. Under the skin, and it is a lining of blood vessels. So, see, if you are having a mild scratches in the skin, you feel that if you are having a mild scratch and you won't feel any pain, and you will see a white color layer under the skin, that layer is what? Squamous epithelium. Just once again I will repeat. If you have a mild scratch when you are running or when you are walking, when you are jerking, you fall down, and if you have a mild scratches in your skin and you won't feel any pain and no blood coming out through the scratches, and you can see a white color layer under the skin, such white color layer skin is called as the tissue is called as squamous epithelial tissues. So, squamous epithelial tissues are present under the skin. Then columnar epithelial tissues, it is present along the lining of stomach. Lining of stomach means the squamous epitheliums are present under the skin and it protect the skin. Then coming back to columnar epithelium, columnar epithelial cells are present in the lining of stomach and intestine. So, columnar epithelials are present in the lining of stomach and small intestine and both in large intestine, and these epithelial cells are longer in size and it protect the inner parts. Then this columnar epithelium has the function of secretion and absorption. Secretion and absorption. So, by the word secretion means in the columnar epithelials, in the digestive system, so many enzymes are secreted. So, these enzymes are secreted with the help of these columnar epithelial cells, and the energy, the food which we eat will be digested and energy is absorbed. So, energy is absorbed with the help of columnar epithelial cells. So, the main function of these columnar epithelial cells is secretion and absorption, and these columnar epithelial cells are present in the intestine and in the stomach. Then coming back to cuboidal epithelial cells. Cuboidal epithelial cells is present along with the lining of salivary glands. Salivary glands. So, salivary gland is used to release saliva. So, in our mouth there are 3 types of salivary glands, that is parotid, sublingual and lingual gland. Through three types of salivary glands are there, and this salivary gland is covered by outer covering cuboidal cells, and these cuboidal cells which will help the salivary gland to secrete saliva. So, then coming back to ciliated epithelial cells. Ciliated epithelial cells are present in the lining of the windpipe. Windpipe. So if you are drawing a windpipe, it will be like this. Then from here it will be splitting into two, and here the lungs. So this is what windpipe. So this windpipe is the outer covering of windpipe is lined with ciliated epithelial cells. So these ciliated epithelial cells, one side of the ciliated epithelial cells are attached to the windpipe. It means like if you are opening the cilia, opening the windpipe, you can see small hair-like structures, which is called as cilia. So one side is attached to the cells and other side is free. So when we are breathing in with any dust particles or if any huge amount of mucus is produced, these mucus are removed from the windpipe through the beating of the cilia. So this cilia will be always beating like this. So when it beats like this, it will remove the mucus or remove the dust particles which enter into the windpipe, and it will be clearing the area for free flow of wind, free flow of air into the lungs. So example, when you are getting cold, automatically what happens when you are getting cold, that is due to the reason this cilia stopped beating. So when the cilia is beating, this mucus will be removed. Excess mucus won't store in the windpipe. Example, if you are feeling cold, you will see lot of mucus coming out through our nose and mouth. That's due to the reason that the ciliary cells and cilia muscles or cilia is not working properly. When they are giving medicine, automatically the cilia will be recovered and cilia will start to beat. And by that meantime, what happens? This mucus will be removed. So we will get free from the cold. So actually, the ciliated epithelial cells are present in the windpipe, which is used to removing the mucus and dust particles which enter into the windpipe. So these are the 4 types of epithelial cells. And in your textbook, a diagram is there. Under the diagram, you can see a small hint of explanation. In that, if you are reading it, you can get a clear-cut idea. So once again, I will repeat. There are animal tissues. There are 4 types of animal tissues, like epithelial tissue, connective tissues, then nervous tissues, then supportive tissues. Out of that, the epithelial tissue is the outermost covering. Any cell which is the outermost covering is epithelial cells. According to the presence of these epithelial cells, it is divided into 4 types. First one is squamous epithelium, second one is columnar, then third one is cuboidal, then ciliated. So coming back to squamous epithelium, which is present in the skin, which protect the skin, which make the skin harder. Then columnar epithelium, which is present in the intestine of stomach and intestine, and which is used for which has a function of secretion and absorption. So enzymes are secreted for digestion with the help of this columnar epithelium. Then food is absorbed from the intestine and distributed through the body with the help of columnar epithelium. Then cuboidal epithelial cells, which is present in the salivary gland, which help to produce saliva. Then ciliated epithelial cells, which is present in the windpipe, which help to remove the mucus and dust particles which enter into the windpipe. So by this I will conclude my topic, and I will give a clear-cut note through WhatsApp. So thank you for listening to me.